Adobe Illustrator Mega Course. This course is designed to take you from a basic Illustrator to a super Illustrator. Let's quickly see what you are going to be getting from this course.
In this course, we will cover how to create a project and navigate inside Adobe Illustrator. Everything about working with objects, and by the end, we will be creating these. Everything about appearance of the object, and by the end, we will create this. Everything about drawing, we will be creating these. Everything about brushes, and we will be creating these brushes. Everything about type tool and typography, and by the end we will be creating these. We will master masking and the type of masks. We will cover symmetrical drawing, blend tool for 3D strokes and hair effect, data visualization,
يا ربي عايزيش اشتسي وش انساك اشتسي
Hi everyone, welcome to Adobe Illustrator Mega Course. This course is designed to take you from a basic Illustrator to a super Illustrator. Before we go into the details, let's quickly see what you are going to be getting from this course.
In this course, we will cover how to create a project and navigate inside Adobe Illustrator. Everything about working with objects, and by the end, we will be creating these. Everything about appearance of the object, and by the end, we will create this. Everything about drawing, we will be creating these. Everything about brushes, and we will be creating these brushes. Everything about type tool and typography, and by the end, we will be creating these. We will master masking and the type of masks. We will cover symmetrical drawing, blend tool for 3D strokes and hair effect, data visualization, pattern making, geometric grids and artworks, isometric drawing, drawing from images, then how to sell your artworks and scales online, then how to prepare your projects for animation, and then how to animate them in Adobe After Effects. You will learn these and 1,000 more details about Adobe Illustrator.
I am Alan, a motion graphic designer and a photographer for almost 11 years. In this course, I will be teaching you Adobe Illustrator. This course consists of two parts, the basic part and advanced part. The basic part is just like a master class. I will teach you all of the details that you need to know to use Adobe Illustrator confidently. Basic doesn't mean that you're not going to make interesting stuff. By the end of this part, you will be creating all of these interesting artworks. After you master Adobe Illustrator in the first part, you will be ready for the more advanced stuff in Adobe Illustrator. And we will start with the most interesting part, which is data visualization. In this section, I will show you how to create clean and modern charts. I will show you how to connect spreadsheets to Adobe Illustrator and use your data inside Adobe Illustrator. And then I will show you how to change boring chart into exciting charts like these. And then in the geometric section, I will teach you how to create different types of grids, and then how to combine these grids to create beautiful abstract geometric artworks. Then a very fun section comes, which is isometric and 3D in Adobe Illustrator. In this section, I will teach you all of the basics of isometric and 3D in Adobe Illustrator, and by the end of this section, we will be creating this ISO home and also this futuristic city. In the pattern section, I will teach you how to image trace your doodles and artwork and then create outstanding patterns and then make them ready for the print. Then in the blend and symmetrical section, in this section, I will teach you how to set up your project for symmetrical drawing. And then with the symmetrical drawing, you will be able to create mandala artwork and also other accurate artworks. Then I will teach you how to use blend mode to create eye-catching 3D liquid gradient lines. And then I will show you how to apply them to any path. This is a very fun section. You should not miss this section. Drawing from the photos. In this section, I will show you tips and tricks on how to draw from a photo. We will be creating these two artworks from photos. If you are learning Adobe Illustrator to start your own online business or to start working online, I have a section just for you. In this section, I will show you all of the places that you can sell your artworks and also the places that you can work as a freelancer. And at the end, we will have a bonus section. In this section, I will teach you how to prepare your Adobe Illustrator projects for animation, and then we will animate it in Adobe After Effects. If you want to learn more about After Effects and animation, I have a course, make sure to check it. If you want to take your design and illustration to the next level, this is the right course for you. Now, let's start with the course and take our illustration skills into another level.
Hi everyone, welcome back. This is the first lesson and I'm going to show you how to create a new document inside Illustrator. So when you first open your Illustrator, you will have something like this. I'm using the latest version of the Illustrator, which is 2020. If you have an older version, your opening screen may be different, but I'm sure everything else will be the same. So for now, let's go close this one and go to the Create New. With this one, you can create a new document. This one will open a new window for you. Over here, you can see all kinds of presets for the documents. We have the recent one, saved one. We have the presets for the mobile, all kinds of mobile. You also have some free templates from the Creative Cloud that you can use. Then we have the web, all kinds of the presets of the web and also some of the templates that you can use. For the print, we have these and we have these templates that you can use. For the film and video, we have all of these and these templates. For the art and illustrations, we have this and these templates. For now, let's go to the recent. I'm going to use the common one. One of them is in pixel and the other one is on the inch. You just put these details. First thing, we are going to put a name for our document. I'm going to name it first project. And then you can change the width and the height as you like, and then change the pixels to inches or anything. Over here you have the orientation. I will use the landscape, and the number of the artboards, I will keep it at 1, but you can add as much as artboard that you want.
Then bleed, I'm not going to touch it. Color mode, I'm going to make it RGB. If you're using for the print, you're going to use the CMYK. By the way, you can close and expand the advanced options. Over here we have the resolution. We have the highest is 300 ppi and the lowest is 32. I will keep it like this. And if you want more options, we have it over here, but we are not going to touch it. Now press on the create. So when you're first inside the Illustrator, you will have something like this. Here we have the work area, the artboard, and we have the interface. All of the panels and the tools are over these areas. In the Illustrator, we have a lot of panels. These panels are buried and attached to different places. We have a lot of panels over here. You can change the position of each panel the way that you want. For example, I can detach this one, just click on it and move it around. I detach it from this panel, and now I can move it. And when I see this blue line, I can touch it to this one. Then I can detach it again, move it over here if I want. I can take one of these panels if I want. I can also take all of them together like this and then touch it to this area. Now let me detach it again and touch it to this one. Just like this. Now I want the properties to be in its place again. I will just put it over here. You can also expand and make this panel smaller. Basically, you have the complete control over the interface of Illustrator. You can change it as you want and as you desire. For me, I'm going to keep it like this. I will just move this properties out from this one, and I want to move it to its original area, which is behind the other panel, not this one. Just like this. In the other side, you have the toolbar. You can expand it like this, or you can detach it. I'll keep it in its place. Now if you go to the window menu, we have all of the panels over here. Anything that you want, you can enable it. For example, the pattern, I enable it, and I want to touch it to this one or remove it. I'll go to the align. I'll just bring it and put it over this area. Now we have alignment options over here. Again, if we go to the window and then workspace, we have all of these pre-made workspaces. We have the layout. Then you have the painting and many others. You can choose what you want. You can also create your own. For example, now you are in the essentials. If I want to change this, for example, I will put these layers over here and also make my toolbar like this. Then go to the window, workspace, and new workspace. I will name this Alan. Now if you go to the workspace and go to the essential classics, it will not change because you made change over this. Now go to the window, workspace, and reset the essential classic. Now it's like before. Now if you go to the workspace, you can see the preset that we just created, and just like this we created our own workspace. Depending on your needs and preferences, just like this you can create your own workspaces. For me, I will keep it on the classic essential for now. In the next lesson we are going to talk about the artboards. See you there. Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this lesson you are going to work with the objects. And one of the ways that you can work with the object is using the shape tools. Let me remove this heart, select and delete. And now click on the shape tool, click and hold. You will have all of the other tools inside it. If you click on this arrow, you can detach it just like this. And now we can choose from it and create our objects. Let's start with the rectangle tool. Click and drag. Just like this, you will create your rectangle. Each shape or each object that you create in Illustrator, they have fill and stroke on them. For now, our fill has some kind of gradient on it. We can change the color to anything that we want. For the stroke also we have the colors. We can choose from any color that we want, and then we can increase the width of the stroke. By the way, I'm going to cover the appearance and the colors in the next section, so no worry about that. Let's change the color to something more interesting. Okay, let's keep it like this. If you want to disable the fill on the stroke, you can click on this box with the red line. Just like this, we disable the stroke and the fill both together. Let's bring them back. Okay, let's increase the stroke again. And we can do the same thing over here. This one is the stroke and this one is the fill. You can swap between the fill and the stroke with the X key. If I want to disable this, I can just click on this one. We just disable it like this. We can do it for the fill as well. And similar to the above settings that we have, we can change the colors if we want. Let's Ctrl Z to undo. If you want to create a perfect square, we can do that by pressing on the shift when we are creating. Just like this, we are creating a perfect square. Even if you don't press on the shift, you have this smart guide, the pink arrow telling you when you have the perfect circle. Okay, when you want to move something, we have to click on this icon, which is the selection tool, and I will move it over here. This one is the rounded rectangle or square. You can change the roundness of the corners by playing with the arrow keys up and down. You can increase and decrease the roundness, just like this. The other one is the circle or ellipse tool. Press on the shift to make a perfect circle. And if you press on the shift and space together, you can move it around like this and create your circle anywhere that you want. Let's make it a perfect circle and press on the V for the selection tool, move it over here. Then we have the polygon tool. We have the name of each tool over here. Now let's create this. You can change the number of the size of this polygon with the arrow keys up and down. You can increase and decrease just like this. Let's keep it like this and press V to bring it over here. And then you have the star tool. As we said, you can press on the space to move it around while you're still clicking it. And then with the arrow keys up and down, you can increase the size of the star. And also if you press on the Control or Command, you can change the size of the peaks of the star. Just like this. So these are the basic shapes inside the Adobe Illustrator. They look basics, but they are really get complex when you are playing with them. Just let me cover the flare tool as well. This one basically create a flare, just like this. So as we said, these are basic shapes, but when you're playing with them, you can make them really complex. If you select on the direct selection tool, this is the selection tool, you select a shape like this. But when you go to the direct selection tool, which is the white arrow, this one, now you can play with the points that this rectangle is made of, and you can create all the types of shapes from this rectangle. Of course, we are going to cover this in detail in the coming sections and lessons, but for now I just want to let you know that you can create complex shapes from these basic shapes like this. Okay, this will be the end of this lesson. In the next lesson, we are going to cover the transform controls inside Illustrator. See you there. Bye bye. Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to talk about the navigation. I'm going to show you how to navigate in the work area of the Illustrator. So here we have our artboard, and we create all of our artworks inside the artboard. If you want to zoom in, you can use this tool and then click and move your mouse up and down to zoom in and zoom out. You can also click once to zoom in and then press on the Alt or Option and click to zoom out. Keyboard shortcuts are Command plus and minus to zoom in and zoom out. Another thing that we have is moving your artboard around with the hand tool. You can use the hand tool, click it over here, and like this you can move your artboard. And also if you're not using that tool, for example you are in the selection tool over here, you can use the spacebar to temporarily turn it to the hand tool, just like this. Many times when you're working with Illustrator, you will have complex composition and complex illustrations, and you may have a lot of artboards. Because of that, many times you will get lost and you cannot find the object that you are looking for. For example, let me create another artboard. And I will quickly create a rectangle. We are going to cover this rectangle later in this course. I'll just use this for example for now. And then I'm going to copy this, Control C and Control V, move it over this one. Let's say you are lost and you want to find this rectangle. Just Command 0 and it will zoom in and fit it to your screen, just like this. Let's do it again for this one, and let's go all the way down. Just like this with the Command 0, it will fit the object selected to the screen. Let me delete this. I'm going to the artboard and delete this one as well. Now let's say you have more than one project. Let's go to the File and then Open. I'm going to open this logo that I created. Now we have two projects open. What if I want to open both of them in the screen? Not just like navigating them like this. You can do that over here. Just click on it and it will open them side by side. And you can easily drag and drop files from one project to another. So it also takes a copy, not the whole object. You have a lot of other options over here. If you have more than one project or two projects, maybe you have 10 projects, you can open them like this side by side. Before I finish this lesson, I just want to explain what is the difference between the vector and raster graphics. Let me bring one of the logos that I have in the rasters, which is PNG. It's not a vector file. Let me scale it down a bit. Now let's see the difference between them. The logo in the left is made inside Adobe Illustrator. It's a vector file, which means no matter how much you zoom in, it will not lose its resolution. We can use these vectors for something small as the mobile screen or something very huge like the billboards on the streets. So vector will not lose any resolution. In other side, we have the raster graphics. This one is in PNG and it's a raster graphic. When you zoom in, you can see that it is pixelated. So this is a very simple explanation between the raster and the vector. The vector will not lose the resolution no matter how much you zoom in. The raster, it depends on the size of it. If you zoom in too much, it will lose the resolution. Okay guys, this is the end of this lesson and this section. I know it was somehow boring, but these are some of the main basics that you need to know if you are new to Illustrator. I promise you the next section will be more interesting. See you there. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, welcome back. This is the first section, and in this section we will open the Illustrator for the first time, and then I will show you how to work with artboards. Then we will talk about navigation tools. This is a very basic section and it's very important for those who are completely new to Adobe Illustrator. See you in the first lesson. Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson we are going to talk about the artboards. Artboards are like pages and you're going to create your design on these pages. For now we have only one artboard. If you want to create a new one, click on this icon, and right now we can adjust this artboard and we can also create a new one. Let's create a new one beside it. Just drag like this. You can create a new artboard. You can adjust the size as you like, and you can move it around like this. In this side we have the properties. If you don't have it, go to the Windows and enable the properties. Over here we can change all kind of stuff, the transform, the name, and also we have some of the presets. You can choose any preset that you want. And you can adjust these presets as well. Let's make this smaller a bit. Over here you have the same properties that you have in the side. You can change the landscape and portrait mode. You have the presets. This is the move tool. If it is selected, when you move the artboard, it will take the content with it. If it's not selected, it will not take. Let's create a rectangle quickly. I'm going to cover the rectangle in details later, but this is just for the example. Now select the artboard tool and move it. When you move it, it will not take the content because the move button is not selected. Let's click on this one, and just like this, when you move the artboard, it will take the content with it. Let's remove this one. Over here we have the properties similar to the other one with some of the new options, but we're not going to go through them for now. Here we have the alignment for the artboard. When you have a lot of artboard in your scene, you can use alignment to organize them. So now go to the artboard tool and select both of them. I'll press shift and select both of them. Then alignment tool will appear on the properties panel. Now you can align them the way you want. You can put them in the center horizontally or vertically, or you want to make the gap between them similar. We are going to go through the alignment tools later, especially alignment for the objects, not for the artboards. But for the artboards, if you want to align them, you can use it like this. Let me remove all of this stuff for now. Go to the selection tool and remove it like this. In the next lesson, we are going to cover the navigation tools. Hi everyone, welcome back to this new section. In this section, we will be covering how to work with objects. I will show you how to create basic shapes, then we will cover transfer control. I will show you how to combine shapes, then we will cover selection tools, organizing objects, and then alignment. And by the end of this section, we are going to use what we have learned to create these two beautiful artworks. We will create this cut and this beautiful bird logo. Hi everyone, welcome back. Now it's time for a homework. I want you to recreate this owl, and you will be using everything that you have learned previously to create this one. You will be using things that you have learned in the previous section as well. If you don't know how to do this because it looks very complex, don't worry, in the next lesson we will be creating it together. See you there. Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson we are going to cover the gradients. First, I'm going to create a rectangle like this so we can apply the gradient to it. We have the gradient section over here. If you don't have it, go to the window and enable the gradient just like this. I have it over here. There are a couple of ways that you can add gradient to your objects or to your shapes. So we can add the gradient over here. Just click on this area and it will be added. I will just Command Z or Control Z. You can add it from here as well. Command Z. And you can also add it from these swatches. I'll just undo it again with the Command or Control Z. And we have this gradient tool as well. I'm not going to cover this now. Let's go to the gradient and click on this area. Like this, we added a gradient to our shape. And the gradient is a mixture between two colors or more. We have three types of gradient inside Illustrator. We have linear, radial, and also freeform. The freeform is a new thing that Illustrator added. It may not be available if you have an older version of Illustrator. Right now we are in the linear, and linear works like this. It's a horizontal mixture of colors, and over here we have the angle of the colors, and then like this you can move the color around. You can move their position. You can double click on it and add a color from the swatches that you have. And you can also come over here and change the color of this point or this color stop. And then double click on this one. I'm going to change this as well. And over here you have the opacity. For example, if I want to make the opacity of this one around 30 or 20, now the right side of this shape is transparent and we can see through. Okay, let me make it 100 again, and then we have the location. It will determine the location of your color stop. This is useful when you want to have an accurate gradient color. You can use this option. If you move your mouse over this area, you will see a plus button. Just click on it. Like this, we added a new color stop, and we can change the color just like this. We can add as many color stops as we want. Just like this, I added two new color stops to our gradient. And of course, this color stop will work with the radial as well. Let's go to the linear. And now let's use the gradient tool. You can enable it from over here, edit the gradient, or you can just click on the gradient tool like this. Now we have the gradient tool inside the artboard and on our shape. And we can do everything that we were able to do it in the gradient section. All of the options that you have over here, you have them over the gradient tool as well. You can mix the colors like this. You can remove the colors, just click on it and drag it down. And you can do the same over here. Just click on the point, move it down or up to remove, just like this. You can do a lot of things with the gradient tool actually. If you click and drag, you will determine the spread of your gradient and also the angle of the gradient. Just like this, you can add new points, you can change the color, and you can also make it bigger or smaller, and you can rotate it just like this. I mean, you have the full control over your gradient with the gradient tool. Now if we move to the radial gradient, we will have something like this. Just like the linear gradient, you have the full control over it, but for this one, for the radial gradient, you have something like circle. You can stretch it like this, and you can control it over here as well. And just like the other one, you have the full control over it. Change the color, add new colors, and then you can move it around. You can move the peak, make it longer like this, or change the direction. What if you want to save our gradient and use it for the later use? You can do that like this. Make sure that you select the object that you have gradient in, and make sure that you have direct selection tool selected. Then go to the swatches and click on this plus button. Click on it and save your gradient like this. Now we have this gradient. If I remove this one and create a new one, just like this, I'll go to the swatches and boom, we have our gradient on our new shape. Then we can go to the gradient tool and change anything that we want from this one. We can change it to the linear, and we can move these around. We can also swap the colors if you want with this button. Now I'm going to remove this one, and we will go to the third type of the gradient, which is the freeform. I'll create a circle, and we are going to add the freeform, which is this one. And as I said, if you have an old version of Illustrator, you may not have this option. So the first thing, we have the points. We will make the points and add the color for each point. Just like this, you will just click to add new points. And you can add as many points as you want. This gradient tool is very useful when you want to make colorful shapes and also something like Gaussian style. With each of these color points, we have a circle around them that controls the space that they will take. So the circle is this, and you can expand it just like this. When you want to change a color, of course, you will double click on the point to change it like this. Perfect. Until now, we were playing with the points, but we have something else with the freeform. We have lines actually. You can draw a line just like this, and with each click, you will have a color point. I'm actually going to remove this circle. I will make a new one so we can test these lines on a blank circle. I will just remove this one, create a new empty circle, and then go to the freeform, choose lines, and now we can draw our line around this circle. And then with each click we have a point. Double click on them to change their color. By the way, you can draw as many lines as you want. Right now we have one line and we are changing the color of it. But of course, you can add as many lines as you want. And not only this, you can actually add points as well. Now we have a line and we can add different points and change their colors. Like this, we can create a very complex mixture of colors and a very unique mixture of colors. Until now, we were adding this gradient to the fill, but you can do the same thing with the stroke. Now I'm going to remove this one, and we are going to create a new shape to add the gradient to the stroke. I'm going to create a rectangle like this and increase the width of the stroke. I have the previous color on it. If you want to reset, click on this icon Now let's create our rectangle again. I just removed it and created again. Now increase the width of the stroke. Go to the gradient, make sure you click on the stroke over here, and then click on this area. Now we have added the gradient to the stroke. And you can do all of the things that we are able to do with the fill. Now it's time for you to go ahead and play with these gradients and create some colorful shapes. This is the end of this lesson. Hope you enjoyed and learned something new. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye bye. Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson we are going to cover the appearance panel. For that I'm going to create a circle or any shape that you want. So we already covered this. Any shape that we create, it has fill and stroke, and I told you how to change their colors. So you can change their colors, the width of the stroke over here, and the color of the stroke over here, and also the color of the fill over here. And I showed you how to change it using the swatches. And you can do the same in the appearance. If you don't have the appearance panel, go to the window and enable it. Now what makes the appearance different from the other options that we have? For example, now in the appearance we can change the color of the fill and also of the stroke. What makes the appearance different is that you can create as many strokes as you want and also as many fills as you want in one object. Let me change the color of the stroke, but don't forget you always need to select your object. It will tell you if you don't select it, it will say no selection. When you select it, you will have path or something else. I'll make the color red, then I will add a new stroke. Now we have a brand new stroke in this circle. Let's change the color for this one. I'll change it to black and increase the width. As you can see, our new stroke is appearing behind the other stroke. Now if you go to the stroke settings, I can make it like this, so the stroke is distributed evenly between outside and inside. For this one as well, and created something like this. Let me increase the size of this one. By using appearance section, you can create some really beautiful styles and complex styles. Let me add a new stroke, and I'm going to increase the size of it. And anything that is in the top will appear for you first on the screen. As you can see, now it covers everything. You can just move it down like this behind everything. And then I can come over here, change the color, and then increase the width. As you can see, right now we have 3 strokes in one circle. We can add dashes for this one and then change the color. The same thing with the fill. We can create as many fills as we want. Let's change the color for this one. And then I'm going to create a new fill. Just click over here. And now I'm going to add a gradient to it. Then if we open it like this, you can go to the opacity and also the blending mode for it. You can change it to any blending mode that you want. Then you can play with the opacity actually. Let me change the color for the below layer. Now the 2 fills are working together because we enable the blending mode, which is multiply. They are reflecting on each other. Now we can even change the opacity for this layer and make it less, and also change the color for this one. It all depends on you what you are looking for. You can play with all of these options that you have and create a style that you were after. We have some more options over here, which is mask and stuff. We are going to cover it later in other sections, not now. For now, I'm going to remove one of the fills, which is this one. All you have to do is to select the layer or the style that you want to remove and click on the trash. Just like this, we removed this fill. What if you want to save our style? I know the style is not very beautiful. I just wanted to demonstrate something for you, but you can save it just like this. Make sure the object that you've added the style is selected, then go to the graphic style and click on this plus button. Just like this, we created a new style. Now any shape that we create, let me create a perfect circle or rectangle, just like this, and then click on the style. Now we've applied everything that we've created on this circle. By the way, if you don't have graphic style, go to the window and enable it. anything that you don't see in your screen, go to the window and you can find it. Now I'm going to remove this one, and we are going to create more appealing and more beautiful than this. I'm going to create a circle again. And then we will go to the appearance, and I'm going to increase the width of this stroke to 2. Then if you want to duplicate this stroke, we can actually press on the Alt and move it up. Alt is option on the Mac, just to remind you. For this stroke, we are going to add an effect. Press on the FX button and then go to the path, then offset path. We are going to use this filter. Make sure that you have preview open to see what is happening on the screen. Make the offset 5. Now I'm going to duplicate it again by pressing on the Alt and moving up, then click on the offset over here and change it to 10. We are going to do it again, move it up, just like this, we duplicate it. This time we'll make it 50. Duplicate it again, press on the Alt and move it up, press on the offset path, change it to 20. And that's it. We have now 4 stroke lines. Let me collapse all of the settings for these strokes. And now make sure that you select your object before playing with these strokes, because nothing will be added or nothing will be reflected. As you can see over here, I didn't select my circle or the object, that's why nothing is happening. So for that, I'm just going to Ctrl Z everything that I added to this one. And then let's select our object. And now we can add anything that we want. You can just hide and show any stroke that you want. For the second stroke, I'm going to add some dashes to it. For that, I'm going just to click on the stroke, this one. Click on it. And you are going to add the dashes, but make sure that you have the rounded cups like this one, and add the dashes. I'm going to increase the size of the gap, and also this dash. I'm just experimenting until I see something that I like. I think I'll keep it like this, 12 and 40. Yeah, 12 and 40 is good. When you're doing this, make sure that you press enter, not just click, because when you click, it will undo everything that you did. So let's go to the first one, add the dashes. I'm going to remove this 6. And then let's change these numbers. So the gap, we made it 80, press enter, but before you do that, make the caps rounded. Okay, now we have something like this. Let's go to the third one, which is this one. And you are going to make the caps rounded, then add some dashes to it. Of course, you are going to change these numbers. We have a different look from the other strokes that we have. Okay, I made this dash 101. I'm just playing with it until I see something that I like. You don't have to have the same numbers. You just see what you're going for or what you want. I will make this 23 and then press OK or enter. Now I will leave the stroke and I will go to the first one, which is this one. Click on the stroke and we will add some dashes to this one as well. Make the caps rounded and let's change these numbers. Okay, I just changed the gap to 100. Press enter now. And like this, we created a very beautiful style. Now let's change the colors. I can change the colors or get my colors from the color palette that we already got it from the previous lesson. Or you can go to these swatches as well. You can also go to the color theme. And over here, I'll just wait for it to load. As you know, in the color theme, you have endless number of color palettes. You can create your own over here. You can go to the Explorer. And also you can go to the themes that you've saved for yourself. In the Explorer, I'm going to choose some of the palettes, or one of the palettes actually. I'm going to use this color palette. For the first stroke, I use this blue. I'm going to Appearance, select the second stroke, and now I will add this color this time. Go to the Appearance again, choose the other stroke, go to the color theme and use this color this time. And now go to the Appearance, choose the stroke, go to the color theme, use this one. And then go to the Appearance and the last stroke, we will going to change the color of it, make it this color. Now we have this beautiful style. We can easily go to the graphic style and save it. Go to the graphic style, make sure that you have enabled it in the window, and now click on this plus button, but make sure that your circle is selected before you do that. Now let's add this style to a text or anything else. Let's add it to this rectangle first. Now just click on the style and it will add everything that you've added to the circle. Now let's write something. Choose the text tool. I'm going to cover the text tool in details in the other lessons, but for now just write something anywhere that you want. Then go to the properties over here. If you don't have properties, enable it in the window menu. I'm going to increase the size of the text and choose this font, which is Cuckoo Goose. This is the free sample of it. And now go to the graphic style and add this graphic style. Just like this, we created this beautiful text. With the Appearance section, you can create an endless combination of styles. It all depends on your creativity and what you are looking for. Now it's time for you to practice what you have learned in this lesson. I want you to go ahead and explore the Appearance panel and also the graphic style panel. Create your own style and share it with me. Or you can create something that I have created already. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye bye. Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson we are going to create the rest of the body of the owl. We are going to work on the wings and also the other parts of the body. For the wings, I'm going to use the rectangle tool and we are going to make a long rectangle just like this. You can see the dimension in the white box. Something like this will be good. I'll bring it down and now we will round this corner. And you know, you have to click on it once and then click and drag to round it. To round individual corners. Then we are going to rotate it like this and move it to this area. As you can see, the wing is very big. We need to make it smaller. First, right click on it and then go to the transfer, then reflect. We need to reflect it vertically. Then I will make it a bit bigger. I will click on this bounding box and make it a bit bigger. Then go to the object and expand. And right now we can scale the whole thing together, make it smaller like this. And I think we are good like this. Now press on the Command or Control with the square brackets to move it behind the eyes. You have to press and hold on the Control or Command and then click on the square brackets more than once to move it behind. Now you will make the wing part. I'm going to use the square. You're going to use the ellipse tool. Make a big square like this and move it over here, make it bigger. I'll go to the view and then make it outline mode so I can see it better. And now we can move our circle. Move it, make sure that the lower side of the circle is crossing the lower side of the wing. Something like this will be good. Now let's go to the preview view again. Go to the view and make it preview. Change the color for this to orange. This orange. Now select both of the wing and the circle. Go to the shape builder tool. Press on the Alt, remove this area. And now we have another part of the wing. We need another part for the wing. I'm going to create another circle. Move it over here like this. We can go to the preview mode and make it outline again to see it better. I want them to cross each other from this point. Let's make it a bit smaller. I want the orange area to be more than the blue and white. So something like this will be good, I think. Let's make it a bit bigger. Okay, I think I'm going to make it a bit smaller. Yeah, let's select this circle and make it smaller. By the way, this is my preference. You can make this area bigger if you want. So it doesn't need to be just like mine. Now go to the view, make it preview, change the color for this to blue. Now select this circle and the orange part. Then go to the shape builder tool, which is this one. Press on the Alt and remove this area. Now we have 3 parts of the wing. Select these 2 parts and press on the Command or Control with the square brackets. Press until they are under the eye, just like this. And the next thing, we are going to work on the white part. We are going to add these diamonds. I'm going to duplicate this diamond, bring it over here. By the way, I press on the Alt to make a copy out of it. You already know this shortcut. Double click on it and choose this orange one, change it to red, this one. And then make it a bit smaller. Then duplicate this one, press on the Alt and bring it down. Then because it's a group, we need to double click on it to open the group. Select this red one and change it to this dark blue. Now we need to put these diamonds all along the white part. I'll just move them up, make sure that their peaks are touching each other. And then I'll make another copy over here. And this one, obviously, we need to rotate it. But let's first touch them together like this. And then we are going to use the rotation tool, which is this one. Then move this anchor point to this side and click on this area to rotate your diamond, just like this. Let's keep it like this for now. I know it's a bit rotated in a weird way. We are going to fix that later. For now, let's focus on the lower part of the white part of the wing. Let me select this one. I'm going to use the rotation tool and rotate it a bit. Okay, like this. It's good like this. Now we will duplicate this one. Press on the Alt and bring it down. Make sure that they are touching each other. Make it smaller.